We are woefully behind on something, and it's right behind me. We have got to get our butts moving. Even though it's January, almost February, we are so far behind on this. So it's already time to plant in Zone 8B in Texas. Insane! It's still January, but onions and potatoes should be going in right now, and I'm behind. So we're heading off to our local feed store and picking some up. Look at all these beautiful onions. I love the scale though.
That scale is, I'm a lot older than you, but I can say it's older than me. Yeah, that's a quarter pound right there.
I am stopping every single project I have on the homestead right now to do one thing, and that is get my garden planning done and get our first items in the garden, because it's already that time here in Texas. Okay, you just saw us at the feed store and I got a few different things. One are our seed potatoes. These are Yukon Gold. Two, I've got our onion starts. This is the best way to plant onions in my opinion. Planting from seed is extremely difficult, but it also works. It's a lot of work. Anyway, onion starts. And this year new, we've got some pinto beans. I talked to the lady, she's been there for 35 years, I believe, and she said these grow really great in this area. If you're new to the channel, welcome. We're glad you're here, and we want you to stay here on a permanent basis. So head below, hit that subscribe button, and click that little notification bell. All right, back to the garden planning. Now that I've got all the stuff purchased, our planting date is already upon us. So I need to get in that garden right now and get it set and prepped for our planting this year. As you can see, the garden is a mess. It's got a lot of winter weeds in it, which, you know, obviously those of you in a snowy area don't have to worry about, but we do down here in Texas in Zone 8B. We've got winter weeds, and we've got just a lot of mess still to clean up from our fall planting season. Okay, this is my garden plan. This is something I do every single year. I draw out exactly how our garden looks so that I don't do a couple of different things. I have all my plans from the previous years here, and those two things that I want to avoid are planting something in the same spot as I planted last year. So if I had tomatoes in one spot and I can see it on the plan from the previous spring, then I can put them in a different spot. Crop rotation, I think it works really well in the garden. It's good for the soil because each vegetable draws up certain nutrients from the soil and depletes it in that area. So you'll want to plant something new and different in that spot next year. So it helps me also with companion planting. Companion planting is important because you do not want to plant certain vegetables next to others. They sometimes don't live in harmony with one another, like peas and garlic or beans and onions, things like that. Sometimes certain plants will compete for the same nutrients in the soil, and you want to avoid that. You want to separate those, and you want to have companion plants together that work really well, like tomato and basil, or actually tomatoes and garlic work well together. So my daughter was excited to work with me, and she drew this little picture of our garden. I think that's pretty cool. So in our plans, we usually indicate where the sun is, and we don't have to worry about any shading with our garden. It's in an area that gets complete and full sun all the time. So we're blessed by that. But if you have a area of your garden that gets a lot of shade, you're going to want to just kind of show that on here, maybe with some dashed lines, and understand that whatever you plant in that area that gets, say, partial sun or partial shade, then you want to plant things that are going to do well for that area. You can also see these kind of bushes we've got here, and those are our annuals in the garden. So we've got some marjoram here, we've got some lemon balm here, and those always live in those spots. So we kind of indicate where those are so we can plant around them. We've also got things that overwinter or that we already have planted, like we've got some garlic up here, and we're going to be planting some peppers next to them this year. We've had tomatoes here last year, we've got our rosemary on the end, but this garlic kind of lives here, and that's why it doesn't have a date for planting, because it is already in the ground. We've also got some carrots over here that we're not going to quite pick yet. These are our fall carrots. We're going to be planting some spring carrots next to it and some collards, but these carrots are here, and once they get out of the ground, we'll probably be planting something else in this area. I'm not sure. You can see we have an ambition also to build something new this year. I don't know if we're going to make it to that because we haven't even taken care of cleaning out our garden right now. I think in a previous video I showed you that we still have to prune our raspberries and our asparagus from last year. These are kind of our perennial areas as well as the center portion. These are our perennial areas, and these always live in those spots. So putting dates on everything is extremely helpful because, like I said, this snuck up on me. I've got to plant peas right now, and we've got to plant these onions, we've got to plant our potatoes. We've got to get these things in the ground. And having this plan done and ready way ahead of time is ideal because it will absolutely sneak up on you, especially like us. We're building our chicken coop, we're doing a lot of different things here on the homestead, and it will bite you in the rear end if you don't get this plan straightened out and ready to roll. Hey y'all, we hope this information was helpful for you and that you don't make the same mistake we did in getting caught up in other projects on your homestead and forget to get your garden set for your spring planting. So now I want you to go check out these videos on gardening. We have got a lot of gardening videos here on the channel. I think they're super helpful and they're going to help out all of you. So go check those out right now.